Je suis avec LGBT sur LGBT TV Radio.
Get entertained. There's nothing like listening to Elegbete TV radio. It's fun. Elegbete TV radio. We dare to lead. You are listening to Elegbete TV radio. This is radio like you never heard before. Get entertained. There's nothing like listening to Elegbete TV radio. It's fun. Elegbete TV radio. We dare to lead. You
Good morning, Antonio
radio. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV radio, the pathfinder for radio. Elegbete TV radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen.
It's 9 o'clock. We got a show. All right, good morning and welcome to the first edition of the Sports Buffet in the year 2023. My name is Edafe Matthew Second, and you love to call me the Elegbete One of Sports. And I am so elated, so excited, exhilarated, overwhelmed to be in the studio all alone, but very, very happy. And I'm home alone as well as my family. I've left to go see the world. They should be back tomorrow. So we will be back together again, or probably next tomorrow, depending on when their flight arrives. But having said that, we got a show in our hands and we're going to have fun. Don't forget that tomorrow, Arsenal hosts Newcastle at the Emirates. And everything in football says that Arsenal will win the Premier League this season, right? No team in the history of the Premier League, 30 years history of the Premier League, any team that amassed 43 points after 16 games always go on to win the Premier League. Arsenal does not look like a team that should be different. But there's something I always say, apart from Liverpool chasing Man City to the title, one thing that always happens when you want to win the league title is that all of a sudden, like that parable that Benedict gave us the other time, the day that the monkey wants to die, every tree will become slippery. You know, all of a sudden, all of the chasing pack are just picking the right time to drop points. Just when you think, oh, okay, this is the weekend where it's going to be tough. Is it coincidence that Man City and Chelsea are playing next? But before that game, all of the two of them have dropped points. Meaning that even if Arsenal lose to Newcastle and City goes on to win, for instance, it would still not cause any damage to the chase, because now Arsenal is 7 points, it will go down to 4 points. 4 points is not good for a team like Arsenal being chased by Man City, but it would not be devastating. It will be worse if it is 1 point. Having said that, let's look at Newcastle. Arsenal plays Newcastle next. Now, Newcastle have considered only 2 first half goals all season. Arsenal likes to score a lot of goals in the first half anyway. But they've got an amazing defensive record. And again, that's down to good coaching, not necessarily Saudi Arabia money. And they play Arsenal next. But before they play Arsenal, they've gone on to drop points in a game that you would never thought they would drop points. Oh my God. Everything seems to be working for Arsenal right now. They say he who the gods wants to kill, he first make mad. I don't know. But then again, in the book, Things Fall Apart, one of the lines is say that as the hunters have learned to shoot without stopping, the birds have also learned to fly without perching. Let's look who will run out of flying wings or who will run out of bullet first. That's exactly the situation with the Premier League. As the chasing pack have refused to give up, Arsenal have also refused to lose games. They've lost only 1 and drawn 1 this season out of 16 games. So in other words, Arsenal have won 14 games. This is probably in the history of the club the best time, the best result start to his season. But beyond that, again, this team is beginning to look way more exciting than even the team that went the entire season unbeaten. Remember, the team that went the season unbeaten didn't even make up to 90 points. I'm not saying this team is going to make 90 points, but lately in the Pep Guardiola era, you need 90 points and above to win the Premier League. A whole lot is on the card. On the show today, we're talking football. I'm a football analyst, not a sports analyst, so I like to focus on football. I could just say a few other sports here and there, but football is the focus. And being the first one in the series for this year, you are free to ask any question. But first off, let me say Happy New Year to you. You could have been anywhere else. You could have been on your phone pressing, looking at Instagram, TikTok, what's that one again? Snapchat, whatever. Popo, but you chose to be here. I don't take it for granted. I don't feel like I'm a superstar. That's the reason why I appreciate it and I am grateful. And for those of you who crossed into the new year, congratulations to you. And I say that because somewhere a couple of days ago, I got the news that on the 27th of December, a day after my birthday, a very, very good friend of mine died. And, it just sank. I'm older than him, so it just sank in my head that the fact that we're alive does not necessarily mean it's our right. We could be anywhere. We could be 6 foot under. We could be in the hospital, commuted, or whatever, but we're here. We're going to make good use of the time and the opportunity that we've been given and raise the bar, okay? Impact society, impact the human race, and do good as best as we can. Well, whatever you think of, whatever you think you want to go, whatever you want to do the best. In this year, if all you do is support people who are doing well, you have also done well. But then try also to be somebody who's doing well. Let's talk sports anyway. Let's look at some of the stories around the headlines, and then we'll come back and really look at all those other conversations that you want to have. And a lot of messages in my inbox. I'll try and read some of them from my inbox segment. But let's start with this. It was far from good enough. What worries me is that they don't create chances. And who's saying that is Chelsea's and Dutch legend Jimmy Floyd Knockleg Hasselbaink. Yeah, slams the display of Chelsea in their 1-1 draw at Forest. Chelsea got lost in the Forest, let's not forget. Insisting you have to come here and win. Okay, it's a bet right? Well, Chelsea legend Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink slams club's performance in 1-1 draw at Nottingham Forest. Okay, he said the performance as they drew with Premier League strugglers Nottingham Forest was nothing to write home about. Don't forget that in this game, Raheem Sterling gave Graham Potter's side an early lead after capitalizing on a moment of confusion within the home team's defense. However, the visitors failed to build on the advantage, and former Spurs defender Serge Aurier punished them for their lethargic performance by equalizing in the second half to secure his side's all-important 1 point. That man still carries the grudge of a London derby in his heart. Remind me of our former photographer, Tian. Serge Aurier and Tian, I don't know, but they should check themselves. Antonio Conte says Tottenham might need another miracle. The same type of miracle that made them to make the top four, they will need another one. But if you look at the Bible, where it is a compilation of a book that shows you miracle, one of the things that I noticed with the Bible is the same miracle does not happen twice. The Red Sea was parted once. When they got to the rivers of Jordan, it wasn't parted. Okay? Every miracles happen differently. So I don't know if Tottenham is going to have a miracle, but Antonio Conte says Tottenham might need another miracle to reach the top four after their dismal 2-0 home defeat by Aston Villa, and says it was crazy to ever consider them title contenders, as he calls for time and patience. Where is Emmanuel Sebastian when you need him? Emmanuel Sebastian sat here in this studio the beginning of the season, looked me in the eyes, confidently beat his chest and said, because of Antonio Conte, that this team is a title contender. God, the whole fuse in my body lit up, but I just couldn't do anything. The whole fuse, I was like Thanos. I was about to snap my finger, but I just let it be, okay? Let it be. I wish I could flash myself back with the time running through the time, whatever. I was at the time loop and then bring Emmanuel Sebastian here again and look at his face and let him say all these things. Antonio Conte says it was crazy to consider Spurs as potential title challenger. Okay, Antonio Conte wanted Tottenham require another miracle to repeat last year's top 4 finish and claimed it was unrealistic to ever pretend that they were title contenders. Conte delivered his uncomfortable truth after the 2-0 defeat at home to Aston Villa. Okay, let's Spurs trailing in 5th with an undertone to hint that nothing will change. Last season, we made a miracle, then said the Italian, sorry. Why? Because we played only one competition and we played with 12 or 13 players and they didn't have injuries in the last 15 games. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, like I said at the beginning of the season, Arsenal's last 10 game is the reason why Spurs even made the top 4 in the first. What team that's going well, 13 games unbeaten, all of a sudden, last 10 games, you lose 5. It doesn't make sense. Okay, if Arsenal had not lost those 5 to Spurs, to Southampton, to Brighton, I know if I'm not mistaken, to Crystal Palace, and what's that one team that they lost to now? You know, if they had not lost those 5 games, all they needed was just win 1. And with the conversation around Spurs being this or being that, would not be there. But then fast forward to after the season. When Arsenal ended the season in 5th, immediately they move into action. They take the team from one level to another. They replaced Lacazette with what's it called? Gabriel Jesus. Even though they did not get a replacement for Aubameyang, but then they re-strategized the team. They let some evil players in the team go. People like Nicolas Ayasanogo Pepe was let go, and then they realigned the team. People like Zinchenko came in that could add Verve and Gusto, even though he's struggling with injury, inconsistency, and all that. Then, you know, they put the team in a place where, you know, everybody on one train. The mission was clear. And then the team tactics was a little bit tweaked to give someone like Granit Xhaka opportunity to go forward rather than focus on defending and picking up needless yellow card. But Spurs on the other side did not improve their team. They were just the same. So how do you tell me that team is title contenders when Arsenal, who ended up in 5th but have improved their team a whole lot, is still in the business? Well, this is what we're saying. It's still early days. Still early days. It's 16 games played by Arsenal, 17 games by Spurs. But in the early days, you already know. I mean, at the beginning of school term, you already know that student that will be in the top bracket. Okay? So we already know Spurs. And for the record, the last 7 games, Spurs have lost 4. Okay? So let's not pretend like we're not seeing all of those records. But let's not spend too much time talking about Spurs. Let's move forward. There's a whole lot to talk about. There's a whole lot of comments across YouTube and Instagram that we'll deal with. And few ones that I can sniff out of my inbox. Okay? But having said that, let's push it and continue. Okay? And see what we go. It's the last season. Okay, I think I read that one already. And let's go down and see. Okay, this one is funny. Okay, Graham Sanders was in the studio when the game was going on. Aston Villa going to White Hart Lane, and they dirty that lane. Okay, it was dirty January, not dirty December. And this is what he said. He said, "I am not a fan of Hugo Lloris. He is past his sell-by date. Graham Sanders slams Tottenham captain after his blunder led to Aston Villa's opener, pointing out he has the worst error count of any Premier League keeper. Graham Sanders has criticized Spurs captain Hugo Lloris' performance in their club's 2-0 defeat to Aston Villa. Sunday's fixtures marked the 36-year-old return to action following the World Cup, with Fraser Forster preferred for the club's Boxing Day draw with Brentford. Okay, with games goalless after the first half, the visitors took the lead through Emiliano Buendia after the Spurs keeper failed to control an innocuous looking strike from Douglas Luiz, who had a very good game anyway, following Oli Watkins to play in the Argentine International. Well, that's so football be. Sometimes, you can go straight. Sometimes you go bebe. If you know what I'm saying, you know. If you don't know, there's nothing I can do for you. Well, Manchester United returned to winning ways, and it was drama again. Yes, first off, Marcus Rashford was sent to the bench and then eventually came off the bench to come and give them the win. Well, Man United might not be playing the best of football right now, but without Cristiano Ronaldo, they seem to have a semblance of knowing that all we need right now is to chalk up the points. And they are doing that pretty well. I think in the last 4 games, they've won all. Okay. And somebody wrote, if Marcus Rashford bashful apology exposed the boy in Manchester United, man of the moment, we saw the man in his physical specimen as he brushed Wolves defender aside to score the winner. Marcus Rashford made amends for his transgression that saw him dropped ahead of the Wolves game. There was something about Marcus Rashford unauthorized lie in and rather bashful apology at the Millionaires that exposed the boy in Manchester United's man of the moment. Even at the age of 25, Rashford has retained much of the youthful shyness we witnessed when he burst onto the scene as a teenager at Old Trafford 7 years ago. Okay, I woke up and fell back to sleep, said Rashford, putting on his serious face again after briefly breaking into a smile as he explained the reason why he was late for a team meeting and consequently dropped to the bench by manager Erik ten Hag. I know that a lot of people think Erik ten Hag have lost the dressing room, but I think he is doing a good job. I just hope that this good job continue. Just the way Nepal decide, like, okay, they want to embarrass us. I just hope that since I'm the only one in the studio, the guys in the generator house can put it on as fast as possible. Having said that, I will need you guys to give me a break so that I can sort this thing just a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. Yes, sorry for that break. That's what happens when you're all alone anyway. But then, having said that, I want to ask this question. First question of the day. Do you think that there's something missing with Manchester City's team? The player seems to be playing in a particular way, like, you know, when you're no longer friends or probably you're not happy. Bernardo Silva does not have those beautiful and intricate movement that we used to know of him. Kevin De Bruyne, I don't know if it's a World Cup, but doesn't seem to look like he's recovered. Jesus, I'm struggling to catch my breath. What's it called? Mahrez does not have the twisting and turning anymore. We all know that Jack Grealish is so boring. And then Pep Guardiola, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be making proper selection. So at some point in my head, and I might be wrong, in my head, I'm thinking Pep Guardiola is fixing the league. He's doing match fixing. I'm thinking that. Or probably wants to focus on the Champions League. But if this team is playing like this, the defense, I've always said that with Nathan Ake, Manchester City always look vulnerable. But beyond that, that midfield does not have that ring about them that make you feel Rodri, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, will always, run rings around you. The only good thing coming out of City is Erling Haaland. Another thing, how would this sound if Erling Haaland scores 40 or more goals in the league this season and end up without winning the title? That's the question. What are you seeing in the Pep Guardiola Man City team of this season? In my own opinion, I already said that Man City, this is the worst Man City team I have seen since the Pep Guardiola era. And a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying because, everybody's carried away with this. Haaland scoring back-to-back hat-trick, scoring 21 goals already in 15 games. Yeah, everybody would think like that. But you see, I don't look football the way everybody look at football. I look at football differently. I look at the whole package and I put it on the spreadsheet because it's my job. It's different. I'm not just a fan of the game. I'm a student of the game. But beyond that, this is my job. I am supposed to see the game differently. I just think that that connection, that relationship between the City players, something is broken. I don't know what it is, but something is broken. Probably, first off, Man City have gone into the pool of those clubs like what Aston Venger's Arsenal used to be. They sell quality and they bring in quantity. Take, for instance, you let Leroy Sané go and you brought in Jack Grealish, and then now you let Raheem Sterling go. Not like Raheem Sterling is top quality, but I will still pick Raheem Sterling ahead of Jack Grealish any single day. And then the funny thing is Jack Grealish gets to play on a regular basis. I don't understand. There's nothing in the team. Like in this play, he can't cross the ball to save his life. He can't give a good pass. He just the worst version of Jack. What's it called? Jack Wilshere. The worst version. At least Jack Wilshere can dribble, right? But hey, it's football, and this is what Pep has got to say. He said you cannot play good when the body language is not correct. Pep Guardiola hints some of his City stars aren't pulling their weight in training after disappointing draw with Everton. With Foden and Cancelo continuing to be left out, Pep Guardiola hints some of Man City stars aren't pulling their weight in training after. Okay, sometimes it is hard not to feel sorry for Premier League managers if they speak every few days. Invariably, there will be occasions when whatever they say whacks them on the nose almost immediately. On Friday, Pep Guardiola was glowing about Manchester City's reaction to the post-World Cup restart. It was surprised at the high level of performance during victories over Liverpool and Leeds United, adding that it made him certain they were ready to give Arsenal a rough ride in the title race. They probably still will, but City might find themselves 10 points behind the Gunners by the time the next play at Stamford Bridge on Thursday, after chalking in a labor display to only draw here. Okay, so Pep Guardiola also thinks that some players are not pulling their weight the way they should. I also think like that. Okay, but my question is, what do you think? Everton was superb defensively and stifled midfield for long spells, but City were nowhere near par. They ought to have won these 3 times over, yet they failed the eye test and never truly looked like scoring. All of the ball, loads of shots, and then the other team runs up the other end to score the only time they get anywhere near Edison's box. That is crazy as far as football is concerned. Atrocious, you might say, but hey, football is football. It's not always fair to anybody, okay? Even, we used to say this in the worry, even the person who pump the ball, say football no, okay? The person who buy the ball confit, football no. So sometimes it's not going to bounce well for you, and that's exactly what City. But I need you guys to look at this City team and tell me what you see, okay? Whatever you see, tell me what you see in this City team right now, because they don't look like, there's a particular way a Pep Guardiola team plays. Like you look at the Mourinho team, you know how they play. They will grind, they will fight, they would play to the death, okay? City team will dominate you, they will create chances, they would pepper your goalkeeper with shooting, passing, and everything. But this team just seems to have this slow drabness about them that just make you feel, is this the team that we used to know, or there is another thing that we're not seeing? Okay, City is not in the city at all. They are out of the city at the moment because there is a particular element that you look at. I'm not even going to talk about Liverpool and the other teams right now. Let's look at these 2 teams, City, and then let's look at Arsenal. Is this the time where we call Arsenal title contenders? Or let's wait for tomorrow. Okay, let's wait for tomorrow and see what happens. If Arsenal beats Newcastle tomorrow, and hypothetically Chelsea comes from their draw and beat Man City, okay, on Stamford Bridge. I don't know. I'm just saying. And then we cannot say, okay, now that Arsenal is 10 points ahead of them, maybe we can put them as title contenders. Is this the time? I need your say on that one. But before you have your say, let me go to my emails and bring this one from Julian. Julian is here again, right? Julian says, good day, Idafe. How are you? I'm fine. How's everything with you? Happy New Year to you, your family, and your crew. Thank you very much, and I wish you the same as well, Julian. God bless you for reaching out to us. Right? And Julian went on to say, Hey, I am amazed at your drive. I saw you start this thing from the beginning, and I didn't take it serious because it didn't look like it. Pictures quality were not too good. You were always using your phone, doing live video at home. And now look at where you are. Might not be successful yet, but in my own opinion, you have proven that if anybody puts consistency and hard work to anything, they can succeed with it. For that alone, consider yourself a success. Like you said last week, that 2022 was a tough year, but as tough as it was, you are still here breathing. If you're reading this message, then you are in the new year. So I think that you should look at the upside rather than the downside. But then I have a few questions. How do you balance family and work? Two, how do you balance your crew, carrying them along on this show, on this journey that you're going? I know that finances are hard to come by. And thirdly, what are the major drawbacks of what you are doing? Okay, Julian, let's start with question number one. And thank you very much for your beautiful message. I love it. Appreciate it. How do I balance family and work? It's easy. So most of the things that I do are encapsulated in three words: be intentional, be deliberate, and be strategic. Right. So when I left Brilla and I decided I want to do this business, don't forget that the first 8 to 9 months started in my house. My producer had to move in with us, was in my visitors room, and we're all doing whatever we're doing in my living room, the dining table of my living room. That became the studio at the time. That was our editing suite. And in that period, myself, Precious, Kalajayi, and the rest of the crew, Alison, who went to Big Brother, we had the time to really brood and decide where we want to put our office, because it was very, very important to have a perfect balance between the home front. And then my wife got pregnant, when family planning failed us. And we had to find that perfect balance so that she also can get going with our business, children can go to school, and we're all on the same page. So first off, the advantage I have is that my office and my studio are in the same place. So it's not like I have to wake up in the morning and start going to office, drive through traffic. That gives me an ease of balance. Secondly, I grew up I'm my mother's first child, and my mother had, so we're 8, the ones that survived. My mother had 12 children, but we're 8, the ones that survived. Right. And then beyond those ones, I grew up in a company, in the yard, grew up in the communal environment in Warri back in the day. So there are extended children, other people's children that became my younger ones, that I've always been that. Once upon a time in my life, I was a children's pastor. People don't know that much, that part of me. And I've been a school teacher. I've been a football coach. So balancing the home, dealing with my kids, is pretty much like one of the greatest excitement that comes to my day, because again, I have children that are very, very brilliant, very smart, and I know that every parent will say their children are smart and brilliant. I agree to that conversation, but mine are very, very smart and brilliant. If you follow me on Instagram, you will understand that. So I get that excitement, that burst of energy every time I'm around them. So it's work, go home, and then sometimes when I really need to do research and all the rest, I just tell them, guys, I'm going to the office, take care of yourself, have your food, your snacks, watch your TV, and then I'm here, right? So I think there's a perfect balance to that one. And then I had to drive to go pick up my wife when she's done with her business and all that. So that's a perfect balance to that one. I can't complain. If I need to travel to, we all know how it works. The second question. My crew, the thing is, when I bring you in as a crew member, I explain the vision, the mission, and the business model, and I show you the books. So you're not going to say, oh, we're working, is making money, is eating the money, and we're not seeing anything. No. So you see the book, you see the numbers. Even fans who are close, they see the numbers, they see what we're earning and what we're not earning. I mean, since we started this business, we've not done any job that we got paid for 5 years. So we're actually accumulating money on YouTube that we've also not paid out, because I said I want to wait till we get to $10,000 before I pay that. So everybody understand that, like, clearly. But then there is the, when I get my personal cash, everybody gets sorted one way or the other, and we just manage to keep ourselves going, because it's a team effort. Everybody contributes one way or the other to make it happen. Thirdly, the biggest drawbacks that I have here is electricity bills. And when I say electricity bill, because there's really not much of NEPA light, it's more of generators. So like every single day you're burning 10,000 naira. Like so you can calculate that into a month and exclude Saturdays and Sunday maybe, but you calculate that into a month and then a year, you know how much that is. And then data is like, I mean, it's an online radio, everything we do here is online. So data is like top of the bill, you know. So I mean, I'm seriously wishing that one day MTN would listen to read the many proposals that I've sent to them and agree to do partnership with me. You know, as much as I need money, if MTN comes through and say, okay, I mean, they are the best internet that we use. I say, okay, we're going to give you internet modem and run our advert on your shows and on your content and all that. I'll be fine. But until then, it's going to come out of my pocket. And I've had a few friends who's been nice, who's been supportive. Roland, Hybrid 10 on YouTube, and a few other people. Nasri, I've also, push it. But then that's fine. And one of the things that makes me very, very happy, and you also wrote, how do I think that this will eventually be profitable? Julian, the truth of the matter is, I'm a long-term investor. I've always looked at life from a long-term perspective. If you follow my journey in life, I'm always a long-term. Well, first, at the beginning, I wasn't anyway. I was always short fuse. Like, I easily get bored, I easily get tired, and I move away. But when I came into media, this whole plan of media from 2004 up until now, it's let's say 2001, because that was when the idea that I want to go into media started. It's always been long term. I've always told myself that nobody's going to do me any favor. I'm going to earn everything that I earn. So let me tell you, the pathway to money is straight and simple. You see that content that we're creating called The Journey. Eventually, we will create enough and be able to sell them, because there are a lot of people who have OTT platform. Yes, they have the platform. They're on DSTV, they're on GoTV, they're everywhere, but they're not creating content. They don't have people who create content. We would eventually have to sell to them, because we create, even though we're not on DSTV or GoTV and the rest of them, we would have to sell to them, and we'll sell for good money. And then I also have other work that I do. My partnership at least also bring in some money. So that's just about. Hey, thank you for caring and for asking as well. Tunde, this one is coming from Tunde, still in my inbox. Tunde say, Happy New Year to you, the elevator one of sports, or Gap Pata Pata at the top of the sports table. Thank you very much for that. Eulogies, beautiful one. How are you doing as a family? You said in one of your last shows of 2022, that 2022 was a very tough year. But every time you come in on the show, it doesn't look like you're going through all of that. You said you were depressed and suicidal at some point. Yeah, I was. When we didn't qualify for the World Cup, it was crazy because that thing they say, don't count your eggs before they're ash. Yeah, I did count mine, because I was I was absolutely certain that Nigeria was going to qualify for the World Cup. So we had a $1 million payment bonus that was just available to be triggered once Nigeria qualified. I'd gone to count my eggs before they're asked. I've gone to Price House, where my studio will be at, where our house will be at, swimming pool for my kids, garden at the backyard, everything. And then it didn't happen. It was crazy because we have bills to pay, we have a whole lot of things to deal with, and then that didn't happen. And I also promised my crew some very, very special bonuses and all that, and then it didn't happen. It was sad. It was depressing for quite a bit of period. Thanks to Blessing Okabari, having a sister like her really did pull things through. So sometimes it will wear off, sometimes it will overwhelm you, but sometimes it will wear off. And the few friends that one have that always come through, Linda Ike, sister like no other, and I think the Elevator TV family, that group in that WhatsApp group, these guys are fantastic people. They just help you hold your hand and cross your River Jordan and cross your Red Sea. They help you part the Red Sea, and they are your Moses. They lead you through it and take you to the other side, and then start feeding you with manna from heaven, and that's it. So not really something that I can claim that I did on my own, but it's just that, and then I've got a lovely family, and I try to prioritize them as the number one in my focus. That's how it is. Well, that's about messages from my inbox. There's still more, but let's leave those ones for now and focus on the comment sections on Instagram. Wow, Instagram. Jesus Christ. What the heck is that? Everywhere is filled with messages today. Okay, so let's take it. Start with the Instagram side of town. Chelsea people, how far? Where is Graham Potter taking you guys to? I need to know because at this rate, more than not relegate to. So Vicky said Chelsea will remain average team until Potter. Okay, under Potter, I have now gave up top 4 ambition. No, I'm not the top 4 before now. The very minute I sign Potter, come on. Top 4 is not even in the conversation. Even this Newcastle now that is in the top 4, that is the best team this season. Okay, they must say might not make top 4 because Liverpool is coming. I'm saying it, but people don't want to listen to me. Liverpool is coming, and you will not go see them. Okay, Akbas Baba, he say Arsenal for the title. I always say, Mingo Bros, Vendo, happy New Year to you too. Right? Okay, and then Chooks 9,000. He said with the amount of goals Haaland has scored, why hasn't he improved City this season? Are you asking me? So I think that the team is that they are not happy. That's just a word I can use right now. They are not playing that happy pep football. Pep football is really a happy football. It's a football that everybody feels. It's a feel good football. Why do I call it Jai football? They are not playing that Jai football right now, and it's got nothing to do with Haaland. And please, let's not bring that conversation of Cristiano Ronaldo weakening Man United. Haaland is now weakening. No, it's not stifling Man City. Man City just have a group of players that are not happy. I'm beginning to think that they should have let Bernardo Silva go. The guy is not happy, and he's actually the ring runner. Okay, he's the ring runner. He's the Pac-Man in the group that's eat up all the spaces and make it easy for the rest of the team to play. But if you watch City carefully, look at their body language, look at the way Kevin De Bruyne interacts with Bernardo Silva or Mahrez or Rodri or Ike Dogan. Something is missing. Something is missing. And I'm a football person. And I can tell you that. And these are the times where, in today's whatever they tell you, bring proof, show proof. There are some things that does not need proof. It's like when you say somebody has sense, they do not need proof. You will see there, right? In that team, something is missing. Joao Cancelo and Foden cannot just go and be sitting on the bench regularly. Something is just missing. As much as I want Arsenal to win the league and I want to see them struggle, I think that I want to still have a team compete for the title. I don't want it to be a stroll for Arsenal. I want it to be a fight. Okay, so if they're not going to win the Premier League, thank you to them, but they should rally around together and go on to win the Champions League. At least all will be forgiven. They should win the Champions League, win the Carabao Cup or Calabar Cup, as I love to call it, win the FA Cup if they want to, and then go win the Champions League, most especially the Champions League. That would be fine, but then leave the league title for them. What examine? He said if Alan scores 40 goals this season and City does not win the league, does that take anything away from him? Obviously not. Asking this question based on your assessment of Aubameyang while he was at Arsenal. Sir, go, let me explain those two for you so that you would understand. Haaland comes. Remember, it took after 5 years of Aubameyang before I made that statement. So we need to put this in the right perspective and in proper context. Haaland comes to Man City, first season, scores 40 goals, they win the league. I mean, they lose the league title. They are either going to be second or third. They are still going to play in the Champions League. There's also the possibility of them winning the Champions League. Let's say hypothetically they win the Champions League. This your question will be invalidated. Or they go on to win the FA Cup and win the Carabao Cup and then win the Champions League. Your question will be invalid. But hypothetically, let's even say they don't win anything, but they make the top 4. Your question is also invalid. You know why it's invalid? Aubameyang for 5 years was scoring those goals, joint goal scorer, scoring goals, somersaulting, doing Batman, doing everything. Arsenal didn't make it to the top 4. Remember, Aubameyang played in a team that also had Alexis Sanchez at some point, had Mesut Ozil, Santi Cazorla, if my memory serves me right, and all of that. So Aubameyang naturally goes to team and makes them bad. But people will not agree with me because they would always talk about Dortmund. But what they don't understand is Dortmund was that one place where he shone. After that one, Aubameyang does not have leadership in him. He doesn't have the drive, right? He's a Marcus Bent, Darren Bent at best. He's not a guys, let's buckle up, let's die here. Okay? Aubameyang is a guy who loses a game and is going to go home and have a good sex. I don't feel bad. Aubameyang is that guy who loses a game, a very important, maybe a London derby, and he could go to Hurricane's house and go and eat dinner after losing to Hurricane. That's the kind of guy that he is. And I'm not saying it because he left us now. I said this, if you guys follow me very well, I said this before. So we're not going to put the two of them. This is like coconut and egg, comparing coconut and egg. They are not the same. Because at the end of the season, this Man City team is going to be probably winning 1 or 2 titles. Yes, Aubameyang won the FA Cup with Arsenal once, but after that, what? That's the one success he just got, and he got into his head. He got high on his own supply. I'm not going to put the two of them in the same place. But if you score 40 goals, first off, you score 40 goals in a 38-game league season, first off, you've shattered every record that is available. That's a plus on your side. Man City still have a chance to win this league title. Okay, let's not end the season today. But going by the way it goes, if they don't win the league title, this conversation will come up. Everywhere you see this conversation saying they played the first time, they played without a striker, they won the league back-to-back. They had a striker who scored 40 goals. He was playing for himself. He made the team play for him, and they forgot about the team. So that conversation will come in. But I can't compare Haaland with Aubameyang at any level. For me, Aubameyang, any criticism that comes his way, the evidence is there. You see him at Chelsea. When they were about to sign him, I said, you guys are signing a player that will not be motivated to play football. But people thought I was, as an Arsenal fan, he's beefing, he's bad belly. If you go to Barcelona and score those number of goals, and Barcelona were fighting to keep players and sell players, and you were the easy one that they sold, they must have seen something that other people are not saying. Okay, that's what it tells me, because they have only one striker, only Lewandowski. Aside Lewandowski, the other one, Ferran Torres, now I need 10 years to even become a better player. Okay, Pedro_aristocrat. Say good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Watching and listening live from the ancient city of Ibadan. Oh, how you doing, Oyo? Distance got nothing on us. Yes, so that's the beautiful thing about this radio, right? We are everywhere just at the same time. Right, so Vicky said, with the intensity of City style of play, definitely there will be time when their engine will not burn as it used to. I agree with you on that one as well. I can't argue that. I will agree with you. Prince_Venga20 say happy new year to you. So I think it says City does not also have good substitutes as they used to. 100% agree as well. Akwazaba, it said whether Arsenal beat Newcastle or not, Arsenal are a title contender. No, it will continue to say, I'll continue to say it. My addiction to Arsenal being a title contender is drawn from the way these Arsenal players are blended together. That I agree with you, but hypothetically they lose to Newcastle, they give Newcastle an edge, and then people start saying, okay, probably they will struggle with the teams in the top 4. Okay, and that old conversation comes in. You don't know if it will get to the players, but let's say how it goes. I really wish, worst case scenario, it ends in a draw tomorrow, because Arsenal losing to Tottenham will not be to Newcastle will not be good. Jumara Pope Resources Limited, they say middle of the table is Chelsea position this season. Damn, guys, mean. Prince Venga 20 says, good morning, sir. Good morning to you. Been following you since the days at Brilla days. Please, sir, where is Murphy Jemba, sir? Thanks. Murphy works in the US right now and is living well. He's happy and good. Abimbala, how you doing? Okay, let me go to the guys on YouTube. Sorry, guys, but I mean, you know how it is now. Oduni Remleko say good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Now, sports where them say go challenge for title with that to Todd Bolly will take over this team by himself soon. That's Oduni Remleko, and he went further to say, Kali, how you doing? Kali, where's my jersey, by the way? Kali, supposed to send me a message in my DM, or probably I'll chat you up later. He said, Oduni Remleko says, we need reinforcement if that will come to pass. From now on, it will get tougher. Games coming more fast and thick. Okay. Ibrahim Abubakar, I say Happy New Year, bros. Happy New Year to you too. I wish you the very best of 2023. Lord Mayor, I say greetings, boss. Greetings to you. Abimbola Morgan. Love that name, Morgan. Morgana. Merlin. He said, Happy New Year, boss. Happy New Year to you. Odin Remleko showed up and he said, make Arsenal win tomorrow, then Chelsea just mistakenly beat or draw City. I go too happy. Well, let's see. One step at a time. Lord Mayor is saying my own na Chelsea help us draw Man City. So Arsenal beat Newcastle. So we go 9 points clear from City. Dreamland. What if Newcastle beat Arsenal? Okay, Lord Mayor says Ima Sebastian na Aboki we miss road. Hey, Ima Sebastian, you're in trouble. Steve okay say Happy New Year, boss. Happy New Year to you. That's on Instagram. And then Lord Mayor said Rashford, good player, but Man U can't win titles with only him as their main man. I agree with you on that one as well. I just hope that he can get reinforcement. And then Anthony Martial can, become a player that adds value to the team. And then Oduni Remilaka say Fernandinho left. They brought in Phillips. That's another one again. That's another side of the story. But what happened to Dias, that defender that came in and one player of the season? Ruben Dias or whatever his name is. What happened to him? He stopped playing anymore. Okay? And I don't know. So Vicky said, I am supporting Arsenal to win the EPL, so the talk won't be Pep rubbishing EPL. Pep don't already rubbish EPL now, so there's nothing you want to say. Pep don't already rubbish EPL. Pep have beaten every... When you say rubbish, you don't already rubbish have not be whether Arsenal win or Arsenal not winner. In short, if Arsenal also win it, Pep have rubbished it because he's Pep trainee. Okay, Pep's a Moshe, that's the coach at Arsenal. Pep rejected players that's helping Arsenal to go do it. Okay, so like it or not, that has happened already. Oyena here says Newcastle knows that at Emirates is game over for them. Okay, better be. I don't know. Oduni Remileko says they played better with Foden and Alan up front. Yeah, remember that 6-3 game against Man United? Maybe he did try give Grealish more games this season. He played very much less games last season. Grealish is not available. Eze Patrick, he said 2 seasons ago, City started poorly and went on a 16 games run to win the league by 2 points. Last season, it was a 14-game run, then eventually winning it by a point. I just ate that City team. Okay, but you see, the difference between 2 seasons ago, last season, and this season is that City's run always starts in November. Unfortunately, the Juju man did not calculate properly that the World Cup, Qatar will do what Qatar does. So right now, Qatar don't block City nose. So if they want to go on that run, there are other teams that will go on the run. Let's just put that in perspective. People said if the injury to Gabriel Jesus will make Arsenal not to play well. Well, the way I see it, how many goals have Arsenal scored now since they came back from the World Cup? 6, right? Okay. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. Let's not say much again. Eze Patrick say, I just feel like there is something we are not saying. And Eze Patrick say, Arsenal are title contenders already. Okay, you put them there. Okay, that's you, not me talking about you. Eze Patrick say, 2022. Just glad we are alive for Hope Day. Eze Patrick went on to say, bros, you did try a beg. I respect it. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Lord Mayor, say, boss, will you say Odegaard pass to Martinelli as the best pass of the season so far? Unfortunately, I would have loved to say that, but I've not watched every game. There could be some passes that I missed. There's a Bruno Fernandes pass that went that created one goal. That was a good one. There's also a pass in one Man City game. I forgot to now. One Man City that was very beautiful. And then the Newcastle, one game when Newcastle won by 4 goals. There was one pass from downtown, that just found Jolinton, and before you know it, 2-3 passes and the ball is in the net. But that pass to Martinelli, Jesus Christ, Martinelli is an ice cream right now. It's a sprinkle of Robbie Perez and Marco Vamas. God, that boy can play football, but that pass was beautiful anyway. That pass was beautiful. Akande Michael, okay. He said $1 million just went down the drain because the Super Eagles refused to do the needful. It is like I have a share in that money. The way it is paining me now, just learning about it. Yeah, it was painful. It was painful. We all had issues. wasn't as easy as now. You know, now I'm talking about it. Just talking, just fun. $1 million in 2022. Oh God. For contest, that's about 750 million naira. Even if we did reckless, now we're reckless pass. And that money is just going to be shared by just two people. 50-50. So one of those things, let's not even dwell on it because I don't bite my lip already. But then Remleko, he said, I want Chelsea to finish in the conference. Jesus Christ. Not even the championship. No. Okay, Conference League, Europa Conference League position. Like, are you hoping that they will go and win it? Because this Chelsea team is all over the place. So they need proper readjustment to the team. Okay, those things that Roman Abramovich used to do and make look easy is becoming. You guys are beginning to see how difficult that is now. Okay, Arsenal scored 7 goals. Are you sure? I thought that okay. The other game was 3-0. So okay, yeah. Prince Feng, I say Arsenal has scored 7 goals. Thank you very much. What's your impression of Eddie Nketiah's recent run? Do Arsenal need a striker or need a striker? That's what you want to say. Steve Oko, I'm going to be very honest with you here, and I'm going to swallow some of my words that I've said about Eddie Nketiah. I think he's proved me partially wrong, not 100%, but yes, Arsenal needs a striker. But I would, because of the way Arsenal play and the setup of Arsenal, I would rather have a Mikhailo Modric because he can play anywhere. So when Bukayo Saka is not playing, because they definitely get burnout. Okay, when he's not playing, or we need to substitute Bukayo Saka, we can bring him in and rest Bukayo Saka, or we can rest Martinelli and bring in Mikhailo Modric, and everything will still be fine. For Eddie Nketiah, I wasn't expecting him to even turn out this good. Yes, the previous game, first half, it was 0. It was not there. But then again, he puts in a lot of work, man-like shift that I must give him credit for. I wasn't his fan. I'm still isn't his fan. I'm still not his fan. I don't think that a player like him should be leading our attack. But then the team have come together and everybody's doing well. I think that Martinelli just raised his game to another level. Bukayo Saka just know how to pop up at the right places. And Odegaard is Odegaard. Odegaard is just Odegaard. That's why I call it the god of Norway. Okay, so I just look at him and I was like, 2 Norwegians are dominating the Premier League right now. The Norwegian Thor in Erling Haaland and the god of Norway in Martin Odegaard. Those 2 guys from Asgard are doing incredible work already for us. So let's see how the season ends. But I'm impressed with Eddie Nketiah. Does Arsenal need a striker? Yes, I think so. But if we get Mikhailo Modric, we could jolly well say, okay, let's forget about getting a striker and now focus on how to negotiate to make sure that by the end of the season, we get Youri Tielemans in. It's not a need right now, but I saw when Thomas Partey left the game, how, we went from stable platform to wobbly platform. So I think we'll need a Tielemans to also add to that team as well. That's my thought on that one anyway. Let's go back to YouTube. But then I say, okay, I've seen that one. Here's a Patrick say at academic care, Nigeria happened to a lot of people last year. I just feel we should be grateful for the life regardless. Yeah, we are all grateful, but we'll still talk about the things that we lost. Ajibade Abayomi Paul says, I don't understand. Arsenal are firing on all cylinders, but I don't know what you're trying to say anyway, but it doesn't make sense what you just wrote. I can't comprehend it. Odin Ramila says 7 goals, 3 against West Ham, 2 against Brighton, 7. Yeah. Abaya Mishago says, please speak about Ronaldo transfer, the pros and the cons for his ending career. There are no pros and cons. Cristiano Ronaldo is not the guy that you would do pros and cons for now. It's just that he just had to eat bitter pies and swallow his pride, because when other people were moving to Qatar, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, USA, he had an opinion and he said he wanted to end his career with dignity. The pros of it is in this one move, it's going to make more money than he probably made in the last 10 years of playing football. That is if he's able to see his contract. So something in me still tells me Cristiano Ronaldo will not see his contract to the end, because when he starts scoring those goals and start taking off his shirt, and then they start telling him that, hey, you're in Saudi Arabia, you can't do that, blah, 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 pretty much everything will be boring. Yes, but what is good with him is he would establish business network and connections, with those royal families, those circle. That's a different circle that he's getting into, that we go from football. Cristiano Ronaldo played more football in the past, so we can't even judge his football anymore. The greatest ever goal scorer, one of the greatest players of all time. You would definitely put him on the Mount Rushmore for top 5 all-time greatest football player. Not the number 1, but definitely it's going to be there. There's nothing to judge. If Cristiano Ronaldo chooses to go and play for FC Taraba right now, or Vendreza, or Remo Stars, he's Cristiano Ronaldo, right? It's just that the things that he said before about other people is the reason why they are bantering him. If not, nobody have the right to even bash Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's be very honest. Because Cristiano Ronaldo has given to us in one lifetime what 200 footballers have not given to us in 200 lifetimes. So there is nothing to really judge or argue about Cristiano Ronaldo. That's my own on it, and I like to let the matter rest. Okay. Ajibade Abayomi Paul says, big ups, Sailegbete. The Gunners are firing on all cylinders, but I think an injury to Thomas Partey would make them go down so badly. Why are you guys all anticipating this injury to Thomas Partey? Manchester United won the treble with 19 players. Are you guys forgotten that one? Arsenal won the season unbeaten with 17 active players. Have you guys forgotten about that one? Leicester won the league title with how many players? With 18 active players. So it's not like, oh, injury, they must get injured. That's why people said if Gabriel get injured, Arsenal will not be able to score again. The attack will be dead. Well, two games on, 7 goals scored. Still look like they will score more. So I don't really know where this one is coming from. But I think that the strength of Arsenal is in the team. It's in the bonding, like Akpaz Baba said, it's in the bonding of the players. And that's something that is missing with Man City right now. As Patrick said, Nketiah was called Anogbori. Still Anogbori now. No. This is not. Stop. The team is playing well. It's got 2 goals in 2 games, yes. But if we say that, then we can say Jack Grealish is not a bad player. Jack Grealish assisted Haaland for 2 goals. Does that mean he's not a bad player? I don't know how you guys look at football, but sometimes let's separate the shaft from the wheat. Let me ask, Eze Patrick, would you be happy for Liverpool to sign Eddie Nketiah right now? This is the window is open right now. You're looking for a goal scorer. Eddie Nketiah, the one that you say Jesus has done miracle for. Would you want it? Eddie Nketiah is still Agbori. If Arsenal was banking on a forward player, that's not the one that Arsenal will bank on. Practically, that guy will not lead the line. Gabriel Martinelli have scored 2 goals as well in the last 2 games. Eddie Nketiah has scored 2 goals. If you put the 2 on a scale, which one will you pick that have helped the cause of Arsenal more? Bukayo Saka have also scored 2 goals in the last 7. So let's put it this way: Bukayo Saka has scored 2, Martinelli has scored 2, Eddie Nketiah has scored 2. Of these 3, pick 2 and drop 1. Be honest though. Pick 2 of these 3 players and drop 1. I still have like 3 more minutes before we go. So if you're honest to yourself, Jesus do miracle call. Jesus do miracle. Come on, shift your face. As the Patrick said, Ronaldo does see money, he does swallow pride. Boss, for that money, he no go come out shirt. Well, he scored a goal and remove his shirt. No worry, you go say now. Quintin, he said, I like your football analysis spirit. It comes with a different kind of flavor from other football analysts. Thank you very much, Quentin. Appreciate that. Wish I could give you a hug right now. Here's a Patrick. At least he has done a bit of good. I'm not saying he hasn't. I need you to make a choice. There are 3 players I put on the table. Martinelli, 2 goals. Bukayo Saka, 2 goals. Eddie Nketiah, 2 goals. Pick 2 and drop 1. Just do that for me. So we know whether Jesus really did do miracle or Jesus not did do miracle. Even for your side, the crusader of Jesus doing miracle. I love that word, Ogbori. Oh, you love the word. Okay, good. For me, Bukayo Saka is an incredible player. I love that guy. You still haven't made your choice. Now we have only 2 minutes to go. Make your choice for me, Easy Patrick. You don't get leprosy for hand. I be weak load or catch your hand now. You don't fit type again. I said for those 3 players up front that have scored 6, right? Pick 2 players and drop one. Oh, now the country you go drop. You see your life. So Jesus don't really do miracle again. You self, you be boring. You like better than you be. But let's end the show on this note today. Thank you very much to everyone who's been part of the show from the beginning and those who joined in halfway through it. I'm really excited. Energies like this makes me always want to go back home and then research and come back again and say, I want to do a show tomorrow. Felt good to the energy was beautiful. Thank you guys. Even when the light went off, you guys were patiently there for me. I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Please do me a favor. Help me subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not subscribed. And please, if you like what we're doing here, tell others, let them subscribe as well. Let's grow this. There is a lot of reasons. Someone reached out to me. Let me say this. Someone reached out to me 4 days ago, and he said something that I wasn't looking at when I'm doing this thing. He said, bros, a lot of us, and when he say a lot of us in this sports journalism space are looking to you to succeed. That was why it hurt when that Super Eagles didn't qualify and then the movie had to go on hold. Because your success would definitely inspire many of us to leave whatever it is we're doing and follow this road that you have created. But it is hard. How do we go in that road when we've not seen tangible success? So the only way for this to succeed is to get more views, more comment, more subscribers and all that. I'm begging you guys, okay? It's 2023. We're no longer a rookie, we're no longer an upcoming brand again. We started since 2017, or officially 2018, and we're here now. It's about time we make the big splash. It's about time we grow the numbers. Made a challenge with someone. I wanted to interview someone, some big name in the industry, and I don't want to mention his name now so that you guys don't go and start attacking them on Twitter. And he said, I don't even have up to 50,000 subscribers on my channel. It's not going to allow me interview him. I said, okay, no problem. Before the year runs out, before 2023 runs out, I'm going to get it. That's a very tough ask anyway. But with me, I always say that nothing is impossible. I always believe that anything is impossible. So let's see how that goes. Yes, as I pack my bags and baggages and leave, Eze Patrick say, till holiday is over, I'll be here every day and every minute. Okay. We don't even understand holiday. That's a funny time. Eze Patrick also say, he said also, those on live chat should like the videos too important. Yeah, they don't do it. I don't know what I'll do them all. Mazino Dixon Amagada. That name solid though. He said, Happy New Year, my football encyclopedia. Do you think it is time to look more towards our youth academies to unearth creative midfielders that we currently lack in the Super Eagles? There's no youth academy player in Nigeria that can play in the Super Eagles. Let's be very, very factual. The way the Super Eagles Nigerian football is structured, I'm sorry guys, I'm buying extra time now. The way the Super Eagles and the Nigerian national team is structured, there is no small boy that can come in and play there. I remember when we were playing Ghana, Akinkumi Amao was in that team, but the coach didn't even have the guts to play him, okay? Because first off, you take a risk in a united team. The Super Eagles is one of the most disjointed, broken, separated, team that you can ever see. They are like the Ghana team as well. They don't like themselves. They're not united. It's easy to play Lewis in the Man City midfield, even right now that they are not doing well because it's a group and they train every day. The Super Eagles is not like that. And I also think that it will be detrimental to any of the youth academy player to go and play in that midfield. Football of today is no longer football of the 80s and the 90s, unfortunately. So you feel it. I was at the beach party on Friday. I was at the beach party in Elijah on Friday. Okay. And there were governors, the consular general of the United States of America embassy was there, Stevens, a whole lot of people, ex-governors, top lawyers. I saw people who had inferiority complex. I could mingle because I've known most of these guys over the last 30 years of my life. So I could mingle. Some of them also know me from when I was playing football. Okay. But I saw people having inferiority complex. They just couldn't even fit in. And these people are big in their own right. That happens a lot in football. You want to go put one player from an academy to go and play midfield with somebody who is close to being a billionaire. The thing that you guys don't understand is football intimidates. The intimidation in football is worse than the one you feel in churches. You know, if you don't know, you know that churches is the one place where people get intimidated the most. It's worse than the one in churches. It's worse than the one in private schools. Football. So to bring in a player from an academy and throw that player in the Super Eagles, nah, you kill that player's career completely, right? So it's on this note that I say thank you, everybody. My name once again is Idafi Mathias Sogana. You love to come in the Lagos One Sports. As a part to say Nigerian football, don't tire me, no, don't let it tire you. As a part to say I'll be here for Iman Sebastian tomorrow. You know, Iman Sebastian said on break, resumes on the 17th, okay? On break till 17th. Everybody's me that's going to be here. Benedict resume on the 16th. Emmanuel Sebastian resume on the 17th. Kalajayi, my producer, resume on the 16th as well. So it's just going to be me till that time. It could be my school resume on the 16th as well. And on the 18th, I'll be there to teach on the Wednesday. So that's the way it is. But having said that, thank you very much for your time. God bless you and have yourself a wonderful day. Bye-bye.